Good. There it is. Now we're all lined up. Good Tuesday morning, the 9th of August. I missed doing a daily yesterday. There was way too much commotion going on in my life, and I had to get a bunch of things resolved, which still some of them are not resolved yet. On Friday, I told you that I was looking forward to spending the weekend with a cousin. He is a first cousin. His father and my mother were brother and sister. And he has 45 acres in rolling Meigs County, about 9 miles west of Athens, and we just had a wonderful time. And it was all my mother's side of the family, and certainly folks that I didn't spend enough time with growing up, but as an adult, actually we were spending way more time as adults than we did as children. And so it was a wonderful weekend. And I have to tell you how proud I am of Stephen, my cousin Stephen Barnett, and his lovely wife Annie. Steve, about 20 years ago, I think he told me, started to study about atlatl, ATL, ATL. It is definitely something that there are several ways to say it, to say that, but and Atlatl was an Indian warrior, and they were North American Indians and South American Indians when they first developed this the sword. It's a sword. It's not a sword, an arrow with an arrowhead on the end, and Steve actually makes his own arrowheads, and that has to be a lot. Well, he makes anything he can make, he does. I guarantee you. And I think as he was pointing things out, it was everything. So he made his own. He is now ranked 14th in the world at that event. They have events. With the pandemic, they got off track, but they have events, weekends where folks come in to obviously socialize, but to attempt to raise their ranking. They all will throw. You put the arrow in a handle thing, and it was fascinating. Steve is 14th in the world, and subsequently he is internationally known, obviously, but he is on the executive board of the United States Association or whatever it is. And next weekend, I'm debating whether or not to go back. Next weekend, he is having an event at his home, on his farm. And I think he told me there are going to be 50 folks there or more coming. They do all kinds of neat things, but it's a respect for Indian lore and understanding, and there's a whole culture that goes around it. I remember growing up to that point. I haven't thought about this for a while. In my hometown of Canton, Ohio, there's a program sponsored by the YMCA called Indian Guides, and each group had a tribal name, and then each person in the group had an Indian name. And we did that for a couple of years and made a lot of friendships doing, and maybe there is somebody who I saw was watching one of my videos, John Levitt. John and I were in Indian Guides together, and he will tell you we built a box kite one time. It was over 6 feet tall. It was taller than Jimmy Lavin's father's head, and it was a box kite, and we had to actually get it up by running a big rope behind the car. That's how we got it up. Oh my goodness, those were some fun days. But how did we get off track about talking about Indian lore? It's a great. It's a great. You have a lot of fun. A great thing to get involved in. I just Googled it before I started, and there's plenty of information for you if you want to. It's interesting. I was looking to see how much you can pay, as much as $130. It looks like it comes with everything, or $55 for just the handle, and a fancy one with an axe on it for $205. It's a lot of fun, and go take a look. And actually, if you have any kind of interest in it, I know my cousin Steve Barnett. Stephen, oh my goodness, he uses his middle name, and I'm not sure. I don't remember his. Stephen Barnett James. I apologize. He does have a Facebook page, and you'll find it. So. Steve and Annie, thank you for your wonderful hospitality for the weekend, and a lot of adventure and fun. And I knew most of the folks there, and was, watched them grow up, and now they have kids, and it was a lot of fun. I wanted to share with you, which is going to be one of the most exciting producing challenges I have ever had. Not so much the technology of it. Oh, by the way, technology. I came home on Friday. I turned my Mac off before I left. Turned it off. When I got home Sunday, I tried to log in. I can't get on my own machine. I have changed passwords 3 times. I've followed the instructions, and they recognize what I'm doing. Then I try to do it, and I can't get back in. So I have to run. I have to take it to the Apple store up the road, and I will demand they get me into my own machine. So I had to move. Fortunately, I have all these cameras I can move around, but I'm not quite sure where things are going to finally shake out. But it really doesn't matter, because it's about the content. Okay, so David Amerland, you've heard me talk a lot about David. He's David number 1, and I will very, very easily yield to be David number 2 behind David number 1. I have said this about David publicly before. He is actually the smartest, most intelligent human being that I have personally ever met. And it has been so much fun communicating with David. We've been doing it now for about 8 or 9 years. We've done at least a dozen recorded conversations that have been all over the place. If you want to learn a little bit about him and the book Intentional, we even created a page for him in our digital library, Intentional. dot expert, intentional dot expert. You can go. Uh, Actually, that was 2 conversations ago that I had with David, and so and I've also been very public in saying that David is my today mentor on marketing and sales. I've learned a tremendous amount from him, and he's a chemical engineer by degree. Is that what I read? A chemical engineer. Oh Lord, and a neuroscientist. Anyway, I last week I sent David a text message, and I said, "Well, here's what I'd like to do for our next conversation, David. I would like you to ask me the questions, and then you can grade me, because if you're the mentor and I'm the student, let's see if I've made any progress." So I guess he laughed, but he came back with a more interesting approach, one that I'm most excited. He wanted me to frame 3 questions. The concept is discussed in his book, Intentional, but it must have some type of business relationship. I'm going to create 3 questions. David's going to create 3 questions, and I don't know yet if he's going to ask me his, and I'm going to ask him mine. I don't know. Maybe. It doesn't matter. It will be a lot of fun, and I'm waiting to hear back from. I'm not even prepared yet, because what I did was over the weekend, riding the bus, I went to his index, and I made a note about, I made a check mark about any of his concepts in the book that might, without knowing exactly what he is saying, might they have a business relationship. So I did that first. Then I'm going to write all those down on one page, and then I'll look at the ones and pick the ones that I feel the strongest about. So I'm going to have that discussion with David. We don't know when. I'm sure it's going to be not sooner than next week, and maybe a couple weeks out. David does a lot of traveling. He lives in Greece. He does a lot of traveling to talk to folks and to meet with them and whatever. So we don't know what that date's going to be yet. And I'm also, don't tell David this, but I'm going to present him this book, David the Superhero. Pow! A friend of mine gave this to me, and as a gift, and I asked her if it was okay if I gave it to. I passed it along to my superhero, David, and it doesn't matter. I'm doing it anyways. So that's going to happen. One final thing I'd like to share today. A lot of interesting things happening with davidfleopold.com, where you are right now. No, you could be in Facebook watching this. And folks are visiting, not enough folks, but I've always been one, it's not about the quantity of something, it's certainly the quality of the experience. People used to ask me, David, how many people went to your exercise class today? And I said, I didn't count. I was too busy focusing on trying to make the experience valuable to them. So that's where we are on that. There was one thing that I mentioned last week, and I wanted to log back into my computer. I have created each day. My plan is to attempt to make a video for the day, feature 3 videos of conversations that I've had with folks. And as I get new ones, they will begin to rotate how we do that. Beneath that is another section that it's really, I've gotten some response to it already. Collaborative partnerships are the future of business, period. And I don't care how big it is, how small it is. The more collaborative partnerships that can be put together, the farther that business travels. Pure and simple. And I developed a product, very simple, very simple. Some of the things I did 50 years ago. I'll show you the product, and then I actually got my first rejection on Friday. Oh my goodness. My research, I don't know why I was doing it, but there are 41,683 zip codes in the United States. And my objective till I can't do it anymore is to put, this is a mock-up that I did for a bank in zip code 45036. Something like this, it becomes personalized to whomever we are partnering with. And it involves, each one of these represents a business, a small business in that community, in this case, a customer of that bank. And that means that we would be, each QR code directs them to a web landing page, which you are on right now. Well, you are on a web landing page. It might be Facebook or it might be mine, wherever. So these folks then develop a digital footprint so that they can start to build their businesses, get new customers, retain old customers, enhance the lifetime value of both existing customers and new customers. And in the center here, then, whoever is hosting this effort, something a little special and different for them. So this card actually represents 10 times to 23. This represents me producing 23 videos to get this, and we will put these into the zip code wherever we are targeting, focusing, and the numbers could differ. It all depends upon the zip code, what have you. But since there are 41,683 zip codes, and I want to put a personalized postcard storyboard for whomever into that many markets, there's a lot of opportunities for collaborative partnerships. To that end, if you would like to explore with me what that might mean for a collaborative partnership with myself in your zip code, please, at the bottom of the fold, there is a contact form, 3 lines, your name, your email address, and why you want to chat, and it comes directly to me. And within 10 minutes of me seeing it, and I'm the only one that sees those, you will get a response. Real briefly, I'll end with I wanted to, for personal reasons, I wanted to target that zip code as the very first one that I was going to do this in. because in that zip code in 1984 and 1985, I did some really interesting and very worthwhile. Everybody benefited from experiences with the businesses, the small businesses in that zip code, and it was all my partner on the project was the president of this bank, uh, and his family, I think, actually even started the bank, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's where I wanted to start. Well, after sending a couple emails and videos to the current CEO of the bank, the best response I could get out of those folks were, "We are not interested at this time. We will put it on file for future recognition." And I didn't do it out loud. I said, "Well, thank you for your time and have a wonderful day." When I said that the business minds and mentality were changed dramatically with the pandemic starting in 2020, how things were going to happen, how business was conducted, and here we are 2 years later. If that's the best response I can get after doing this stuff for 50 years, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Period. If that's the attitude and that's the level of communication that you get involved. But then again, maybe he's hiring his ad agency to do the same thing, and that's okay too. No problem, as long as these small businesses in that zip code can receive value, some type of benefit. That's all that's important. That's what the concept and project is all about. Thank you for your time today. 22 minutes and 34 seconds. I am going to, I will post this video onto Facebook, and very soon after that leave for my, thank God it's only an annual cardiology checkup today. Once a year, I get checked up to see to see if I have a heartbeat. I guess that's what happens. And we know I can hear my heartbeat, so I know I have a heartbeat. But there have been times where I have had every other week checkups, every month checkups, every other month. That has happened in my lifetime. So I guess it's a good sign. I only have to do it once. And this is the really interesting thing about it. I was telling my son, this will be the first time that this cardiologist has seen me, and he became my cardiologist when I needed deep help in the intensive care. He came to visit me every day. I said, "I want you when I get out of this place." He just happened to be the department head of the UC Medical School, and so that's why he was hanging around, because the hospital, UC Health, is a teaching hospital. That's why he was observing my case. So I said, "Okay, you're the man." So, anyways, I usually get an echocardiogram. An echocardiogram measures the strength of your heart muscles. The lower the number, the worse shape your heart muscles are in. In 2009, we knew for a fact, I don't remember when the prior echocardiogram was, but we knew in 2009 that my ejection fraction was 30. Danger level was 35. So the decision was made quickly to put a defibrillator pacemaker in. And I'm not sure how involved Dr. Becker was with my case at that time, but at any rate, he gets all the analysis. So today is the first time in the checkups that I've had with him that I have not had an echocardiogram. So that's a good sign. So he'll listen to my heart, and he'll listen to the valve open and close. And if it sounds okay, we're out of there. So thank you for your time today. Make it have a great day. I don't know what the weather is like where you are in Cincinnati, sweltering heat, potential for rain, getting very, very serious rain tomorrow. I guess that is usual commotion around here. And so we'll see what happens. Have fun. And what did I forgot to bring it out. I forgot it on, well, my cup says, my coffee cup and tea cup says, do what you love and love what you do. We'll see you soon.